What are some of the changes that the new Forever GI Bill offers?
The Forever GI Bill is really the most comprehensive set of updates and improvements to the post 9/11 GI Bill. The 15-year delimiting date, as we call it, or expiration date for the use of your post 9/11 GI Bill has been eliminated.
For those who lost their benefits due to a school closure, VA will restore those benefits. So what are the first steps that a veteran needs to take to restore those benefits?
Prior to the Forever GI Bill, the VA didn't have the legal authority to restore a student's entitlement should their school shut down abruptly. The Comary Act provides us the authority to go back and restore entitlement all the way back to January of 2015. So if an individual was going to a school that closed down, we would be able to restore whatever number of months of entitlement that they used while they went to that school. So far, we've restored really over 5,800 months of entitlement to nearly 600 of our beneficiaries that were impacted by school closure.
What are some of the STEM programs that the new Forever GI Bill offers?
One of the great provisions in the Forever GI Bill is the STEM scholarship. The STEM scholarship is a way for those that are pursuing STEM degrees to get 9 more months of entitlement and up to $30,000 more toward that degree as part of the GI Bill. And this is a provision that's going to come into effect in 2019. So there'll be a lot more information coming out about that, about how to apply and all that. But again, another great enhancement to the GI Bill.
How does the Forever GI Bill affect spouses and dependents?
There are a number of great provisions and enhancements for spouses and dependents in the Forever GI Bill. The first one I would mention is the Fry Scholarship. If you're not familiar with the Fry Scholarship, it's where spouses and children of those who've been killed in the line of duty receive full post 9/11 GI Bill benefits, 36 months, along with the housing and the books stipend. One of the great things about the post 9/11 GI Bill is the service member can transfer it to their spouse or their children before they exit the service. Sometimes, as we know, tragedy can happen, and one of the children that was a recipient of those transferred benefits may pass away. So with the Forever GI Bill, the individual can then give it to another qualified individual.
What are some of the changes for the Survivors and Dependents Education Assistance Program? I believe that's called the DEA program.
A couple of changes with DEA, and that benefits the spouses and children of those who are permanently and totally disabled or who have died as a result of such a disability. Prior to this law, an individual could earn 45 months of the benefit. That's been reduced to 36 months. But there's another part of the law effective in October of this year that increases the amount paid to each individual depending on on their rate of pursuit in their academic programs. So there's an increase in the amount of money, but there's a decrease in the total number of months allowed now.
So are the survivors and dependents enrolling in the DEA program getting fewer benefits?
Well, it's a trade-off. There are fewer months of benefits, but they're getting paid more while they're going to school now.
Can you talk a little bit more about the technology programs that the Forever GI Bill is introducing?
In addition to the STEM scholarship, which we talked about, there's a pilot program we're calling it Vet Tech. And this is a pilot for 5 years for $15 million a year where the VA will contract with high technology training providers, programs or training programs that are not normally associated with GI Bill approval. And so the VA will contract with some number of these providers in order to provide high technology training for veterans. And the beauty of this pilot program is you can get into this program and not have any of your GI Bill entitlement charged to do it. It's essentially above and beyond your GI Bill, and you get paid housing while you're doing it.
What about Purple Heart recipients? Are their benefits expanded?
Purple Heart recipients deserve a special debt of gratitude from our nation, and the Comary Act, Forever GI Bill, provides a little bit of that to our Purple Heart recipients by providing them the full GI Bill benefit, post 9/11 GI Bill benefit, regardless of how much time they served. Post 9/11 GI Bill is pretty much geared toward how much creditable time of service you have. If you serve 3 years of active duty, you'll be fully eligible at the 100% level. Anything less than that, then you're partially eligible. So This just says to Purple Heart recipients, you were wounded in battle. In recognition of that sacrifice that you made, you get the full GI Bill from the get-go.
Are there certain tools and resources that you would recommend to someone who would like to explore their education benefits?
On vets.gov, there's a host of information about the Forever GI Bill, and we also have links to some of our applications for various pieces of the bill.
What would you say to a veteran who hasn't explored the education benefits that they're entitled to?
The GI Bill comparison tool is a great tool to go to. We do that through our GI Bill website on vets.gov. It has just a wealth of information about approved programs that are out there. It has all the GI Bill approved programs to include OJTs and apprenticeships that one might want to apply for. It talks about issues related to that school, whether they have a veterans organization on campus, whether they commit to the principles of excellence, whether they have complaints against them. There are also many other tools out there. For example, the Choosing a School Guide on our website just kind of walks the individual through all the things they should be thinking about as they decide on what kind of academic program and school to go to. Things like, is the school accredited? How is it accredited? Are there articulation agreements, meaning will they be able to transfer their credits if they happen to transfer out of that school to another school? If you're using your GI Bill benefits, go to vets.gov, GI Bill comparison tool. And if there's any questions about it, they can either ask them through their website or call our call center at 888-GI-BILL-1. There's just a lot of places to go to get information and use those benefits wisely.